Well, I guess I'll do one more before I call it a night. Just want to add some commentary to the last one I did on this issue. You can look at my eyes and tell it's time for me to shut up and lay down. Um, I'm still appalled. I'm still lost at to how even people that are anti-Trump allow this stuff to go on in our country. I mean, um, I don't get it, and I don't hear enough people, even the more professional corporate Democrats, um, standing up and saying, "Hey, enough is enough." Maybe somebody here and there that ain't really that big up the ladder, and um, I also said in another video that what, when you act like this, you know, when you act like a animal that's out for blood like this, I don't care if slavery comes back. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And like I said in a couple videos, my first video on this subject, um, there's a lot of white people that need to feel what slavery feels like. They need to spend some time on a plantation. Because did you see the video about that white boy that showed up with a gun, and the one that just couple miles away from the inauguration, started fires or something like that? I don't really think people are listening with ears to learn. I really don't. You can't be. You can't be. You just can't be. Um, you're hearing what you want to hear, and I think the media should all be one right now. When it comes to people getting hurt, when it comes to people being assaulted, when it comes to people's rights, being when people being abused for their rights, um, it's time to stop talking about the you know smack talk and the funny talk, and let's get real and say, hey, everybody should be saying the same thing right now. It has to stop. It has to stop, and I just hope it does. And if I tell you what, like I said in another video, if it don't stop, get them, Trump. Get them. Get them. And hey, I'm a black man, and I understand the last thing we want is anything where white people are going to be like, whooping us or grabbing us by the neck or pepper spraying us, shooting us or anything. I understand all that. But hey, where do you get off after all you've been through? Letting, thug life be your AMO. Like that shouldn't even be on a black person's mind. That should never be on your plate. Like that should, because we are the, you want to sit there and talk about slavery and all this kind of stuff, and you always want to talk about, you want to keep going back there. I'm sorry, Martin Luther King would never be in these riots. Okay? Um, the black groups of the past that, were fighting for civil rights, so that, we would be counted worthy as black people. If they were alive today, they would probably go to jail for beating the heck out of some of these black folks that are out here, making a fool out of themselves. Really. I mean, you know, black folks, you don't get a choice to act like your enemy. You don't get a choice to retaliate. That doesn't fix things. The best way to handle a situation where you feel that you're being targeted as a race is to be better than them that are targeting you, to be better than them that are profiling you, to be better than them that hate you. But I'm saying this for all you Democrats now. I'm saying this for all of y'all now that, and I don't know, maybe the people in the riots are not Democrats. Maybe they're people that don't vote. I heard somebody say on the news that these people are not Democrats. Okay, well, then the Democrats shouldn't have any trouble getting up and saying, hey, stop it, or, do the time, take the beating, whatever, And a lot of people did get arrested, you know. Oh, boy. Anyway, the war on Trump is stupid. Trump is just a man. He's not, you know, he's not Loki from he's not Loki from Thor, okay? You know what I'm saying? He's not Darth Vader, okay, from Return of the Jedi, okay? He's just a white man who is old school, in my opinion. And the way America's fallen, coming from black folks, white folks, and these illegals that are in our country, the way people are acting today, hey, I'll tell you what, you know, I really don't sympathize with, anybody. It is what it is. I mean, the truth is what it is. And there are some of us that are more professional. And there's some of us that are, we have good hearts. We have good hearts. We have pure hearts and minds. You know what I'm saying? There's a proper way to deal with stuff, and there's an unlawful, unlogical, selfish, uneducated way to handle things, and that's what's going on. Even if Trump was the worst president you think you will ever have, there's a better way to handle the situation. And I mean, I know that the Republicans, not all Republicans, but most of the Republicans that I know, if the tables were turned, we wouldn't be out there. No. We wouldn't be out there, beating up on Hillary Clinton supporters. Even those that are like anti-woman, that are male chauvinists, they wouldn't be out there. They wouldn't be out there beating up on people for voting for Hillary. Even those that are anti-Muslim wouldn't be going to Hillary Clinton rallies beating up on Muslims, or we wouldn't do it. There's a professional corporate way of dealing with this kind of thing, and this ain't it. This ain't it. This the way, Anyway, the war on Trump is stupid. But I want to ask you quickly, and then I'm going to bed. I'm starting to feel it. What do Trump supporters want? Because, Trump is protected by the Secret Service. He's protected by the military and the FBI, and, he's got bodyguards around him. He's not getting hit and spit on and all this stuff, and he's not going to lose his job. There's people losing their jobs because they're Trump supporters. There's people, it's crazy. And I'm afraid that I'm going to be in a public place and someone's going to understand that I'm a Trump supporter. Somebody's going to open up their big mouth and say that I'm a Trump supporter. And the next thing you know, I'm going to see blood running down my ear or out of my eye or out of my mouth or something because somebody opened their big mouth and said, "Oh yeah, DeRoy Cruz, he's a Trump supporter." I'm watching my back. I ain't going out there at night. Unless I am going to work. I ain't going to be out there catching no bus at night. Trust me. And I'm not going to let nobody, no females that I know, be out there at night. With these crazy, especially when you're in the inner city, in the inner urban cities of Pittsburgh, you can't trust people. They're just looking for an excuse, as I said in the last video, looking for an excuse to put their hands on people, to do violence, to do crime. Trump becoming president, I don't care how much of a racist or a fascist you think he is, because back in the day, black people in general thought that all people in office, all white people in office were racist and fascists. Okay? But anyway, my first question is, what do Trump supporters want? And what were you doing if you are Democrats in the first place? Some people don't even think that these people that are doing these riots and stuff are even registered to vote. But what were you before you met Donald Trump? What kind of what kind of Democrat were you? What were you doing? Did you have a job? See, America is not about you using up energy freely. That costs money. And I don't understand for the life of me how there's people who got all this time to be at the library on the internet. Got all this time to be drinking and smoking and and making babies and all these different things. Party, 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 party. And you ain't even got a job. I don't understand that. I don't get it. Okay? But there's a lot of people that are like that. I mean, what were you doing before? I mean, why did you vote for Hillary if Hillary not making it into office is really, really bothering you that bad? What were you doing before she started campaigning? I mean, where did these Democrats come from? Come on. If they're Democrats, if they're registered to vote, where did these people just come out of the woodwork? They just come out of nowhere. Like I said, who are these people? But let's talk about real quickly, what Trump supporters want, because I think the protesters and the rioters have a different idea in their mind. They think Trump supporters, again, I can reverse that question. What were Trump supporters doing before Trump decided to campaign in office? I'm a Republican, and I was a Republican before Trump ever showed up. Okay? And I know some things about the Republican Party. And it's not about me being selfish and getting what I want, but I know some things about the Republican Party that I support. But what do Trump supporters want? Trump supporters want American leaders to stop wasting time on things that should be personal. And I think that is where a lot of the rioting comes in. Actually, we're not supposed to waste our time on the things that Democrats waste their time on. We're not supposed to waste our time on who's going to use what bathroom. Seriously. Like, we don't have to say anything about it and be nasty. And you know what? Trump's a better man than me. He's a better man than me because he kind of threw something in there to keep it moving. But I wouldn't have kept it moving. I would have said, lady, you're going to have to wait till the Democrats win and worry about that. I'm not even going to worry about that. I mean, if you are that unspiritual that you want to do that kind of thing to yourself, and you have that much of a low self-esteem of yourself, maybe you need to spend some time in a depression clinic or something like that, and get out of politics for a minute. Why do we have to waste our time on stuff like that? I mean, and Republicans are not supposed to waste their time on stuff like that. That is the difference between the offices. Maybe that's one of the things that really got people upset. But see, there's two parties. Because the people that don't want to waste their time on that stuff are just as important as the people that want to waste their time on it. And the truth is, the people that waste their time on it, one day, they're going to stop wasting their time on it. You're going to grow out of it. Look around you. You're going to stop wasting your time on this stuff. Once you wake up and grow up, you're going to stop wasting your time on certain stuff because it ain't got nothing to do with politics. Okay? But we don't need to waste our time on certain things. Trump supporters want to bring jobs back into the U.S. What's wrong with that? I think both the Democrats and the Republicans want to bring jobs back into the U.S. And why should all of our jobs go to China just because we have good business deals with China? Okay. Let's create a new business deal and get half of our jobs back. This is the United States. This is bigger ground than China. This is bigger than China. This is bigger than Japan. This is bigger than the Arab nations. Why do we need to give everything we have away? What, we just going to have secretary jobs here in the U.S.? Just cop jobs? There's a lot of people that ain't going to go to college. And now that's what's going on in the U.S. Everybody has to go to college or they can't get a job. And that's not fair. Because back in the day, there was more people working who didn't go to college than there was people that went to college. People that didn't go to college worked a bunch of jobs and made a ton of money. People that went to college spent so many years learning and so many years searching, okay, and finding other ways to support themselves, and then they fell into a career, or they worked like little jobs until they finally got into that career. just like today, but back then it was more so. But people who, everybody doesn't have to go to college. Bernie Sanders thought that everybody got to go to college, and the atheists, they think that everybody got to go to college because they think that's going to make them stop being Christians if they go to college. Everybody's not going to college. Trust me. You can do all the free college crap all you want to, but everybody's not going to need them grants. They're going to take them grants and use them for something else. They're not going to college because it ain't in everybody to go to college. Okay, there's no law that says everybody has to go to college, and hopefully there never will be. I mean, I went to college, but I would never feel like, oh, you got to go to college or be treated like an outcast. No. You don't need to go to college to operate machines, drive a forklift, okay? You don't need to go to college to deliver stuff. You don't need to go to college to build everything, some things, but not everything. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to go to college for everything. And the Democrats are trying to make everybody go to college. Because they think because obviously that's going to bring more money into the government and more money to the rich if everybody goes to college. Okay? So that you can pinpoint who will be rich and who won't. Because if the only people that are making all the money are white collars, there you go. Okay, everybody has to go to college in order to make any money, and that should never happen. But that's one of the things that the Democrats, Hillary and Bernie Sanders, were doing. And then this whole thing about women. Wait a minute, there's plenty of jobs for women. Now Hillary was talking like we're going to find a way to get women to make more money than men. Like like there's not enough jobs for women. And the reason why some of the men are taking the jobs that were for women, because you're losing a lot of industry here in America, and you're getting into a lot of jobs where you don't have to get your hands dirty, and a man has to do a woman's job, okay, to make money. And and that's the way it's getting. I'm not saying it is that way. I'm saying it's getting that way. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. Why should we be the biggest nation in the world and have the lowest industry rate? Why should that be? It doesn't make any sense. And Donald Trump wants ISIS gone, and a lot of Republicans, I admit, and I am too, I am anti-Muslim. And when I say anti-Muslim, I'm trying to figure out, why are they here? Like, why do they need to be here? If it's more important to you to make everybody bow to Allah than it is for you to be free to serve Allah within the freedom to serve Allah. See? To a lot of Muslims, it's more important to make everybody bow to Allah, which to me, Allah is not God. He's their God. He's not God with a capital G. He's their God, the Arab God, okay? But to me, the Muslims seem like they want everybody to bow to Allah, and they want to use Allah to express their culture and put themselves in front of everything we got going on here in America. Okay? To where it'll be like everybody automatically is in tune with Islam and its crazy laws and that, because it's everywhere and it's involved in everything. And I just think that's Holocaust. I just think that is so rude and unfair. You know, people, if you don't want freedom, even in your own religion, okay, even if you come over here and you say, oh, I want the freedom to be a Muslim, or I want the freedom to be a Christian, or freedom to be Buddhist, or whatever, you should do it within the limits of freedom. Freedom does not control other people, even us Christians. Like I said, we ain't gonna waste our time on talking about transgenderism and homosexuality. But at the same time, we're not trying to control transgender people and homosexuality. We just want them to stop acting like everybody has to bow to them. And I'm seeing that in the Democratic Party, where it's like, we gotta bow to everything you come up with. You can't come up with something without making everybody bow to you. It's got to be everybody's problem. That's why there's more homosexuals and more illegals and more transgender people, atheists, people from other countries, and different people that are, you know, that are Democrats, because they know, because people like Hillary has them thinking that they can give themselves a boost and jump in front, jump ahead of everybody else, jump from the back of the line to the front. And that's just wrong. That's just wrong. And so what is the attitude of Republicans? The attitude of Republicans is that America does not need to change for the Muslims. It does not need to change for the homosexuals. We're not going to like go on a civil war because we don't agree with gays, or go on a civil war because we think transgenderism is stupid. We're not going to go on a civil war because there are so many mosques in this country. But our attitude is that we should not give up America for those that hate our flag. And a lot of these people who are so worried about, you know, the right to do something with your sexuality that's so ungodly, they want that right to do that, and that right to stamp marriage on it, like that's going to sanctify it, and it's not. Okay, these people, okay, aren't really acting like Americans. They're not really loving the stars and stripes. They forget what freedom is, and they're actually, and I put this in another video, they're actually in a box. That's not freedom. Freedom to do spiritual sexual suicide is not freedom. But you can't explain that to people, so therefore all we can do is have our rights equally, which I gotta admit, in the long run, if not the short run, even that's going to blow up on all of us, because only the strong in the Lord, I believe, will survive. And you know, God is going to have his day. God is going to have his day. Matter of fact, I think he's having his day now, but actually this is, you know, the time for the liberals. You know, this is their time, because I believe we're in prophecy and we are in the last days. So I'm going to bed. I hope I've added everything that I needed to add to the previous. If I didn't, and you are making a comment, please let me know that, and I love to make these videos. So if you're commenting and checking out my channel, let me know. God bless you. Good night.